Welcome to the London Photo Festival podcast series. Today we're joined by Zachary Z. Handler, visual artist from Baltimore in Maryland. Welcome to the show, Zachary.
Hi, Emma.
So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which involves talking about your photography project called ERRANDS. I was wondering if you could just explain a little bit about the project for us.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So ERRANDS is a portrait series I began just after my state began its lockdown and quarantine phase. The pandemic has affected all of us in many, many ways. Everyone's experience is different, and I knew that I needed to do something for my own mental and emotional and physical health, staying at home and indoors. I mean, I've never been, no one ever had to ask me to stay home all weekend. I always find something to do, but being told that I had to stay home all weekend and every night after work was quite a different experience. And so after maybe 2 weeks in quarantine, I just started feeling anxious and antsy, like I'm sure a lot of people did. But for me, my outlet's always been art making, photography, building little sculptures, drawing, whatever the case may be. And so I was laying here on my couch in my living room, and I was watching a movie, but I was kind of bored, so I was looking around my room, my living room, and I just thought, what can I do to reach out to people virtually, since I can't go visit?
Yes.
And what would it look like if I took their photographs using whatever I have in front of me? And I was like specifically looking at this pinkish salmon colored chair I have over there and some knickknacks that were sitting on the table next to it. And so I turned off my movie, I called my friend, and that was April 18th. And his name's Khalid, and the first photograph was actually on my bookshelf, sort of sundown. Some light was sort of casting on the glass at the top shelf, and I put him on the second shelf and stood up and shot through the glass on the first shelf. So there's these really beautiful like bouquets on the in the photograph. So I loved the way it looked. He said that it was a really cool experience to like watch my disembodied arms and fingers sort of reaching in and out of the frame. And then I took about 50 photographs of people I knew and their friends or family. And then I made it public online. And I was expecting maybe 20 signups, maybe 30. And it turned into now 200, I think today is 251. That's
amazing. And you've taken photographs of people worldwide, haven't you? It hasn't just been in the States.
Yes. A lot of people where I live in Baltimore, but also, across the country in California, Seattle, Oregon, those are all in the States. But then worldwide, we're talking Croatia, Germany, the UK, Zimbabwe, Thailand, India.
Wow, that's incredible. You've had such an amazing reach.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
And not only have you helped yourself through lockdown, but it sounds like you've helped other people, because it must have meant quite a lot to them to kind of be suddenly involved in something that was a little unique and different and got them away from their sort of daily thoughts and the drudgery really of the pandemic.
Absolutely. Part of the project too is before we even take a photograph, we have a conversation. We talk about what that person's life is like in this new year, this new world, because things have changed so much for so many different people. Everyone's experience, of course, is different, but I've been really surprised to see how the majority of people are really doing okay.
Yeah.
At least the majority of the people that I photographed.
Yeah.
It's a very, very small percentage of the population, but it's also a nice representation of the hope and residual joy that's still around.
Yeah. And how do you come up with the concepts then for the individuals when you're taking their photographs?
Oh, well, of course, everything exists within my house. My home is definitely like my playground, and so there are piles of art projects everywhere.
That
There
sounds like
always
my
have,
house.
yeah, there always have been, but it's always maybe been a little bit like less visual, right? Like you don't walk into my house and see a mess of piles of art, but you do now. Well, people aren't coming home. People
No,
aren't.
right.
When we move around today, you'll see
Yeah, yeah.
perhaps some piles here and there. But honestly, my inspiration comes from anywhere. So it can come from fellow photographers on Instagram. It can come from something someone says to me at work. It could come from a movie I watched either recently or a long time ago. Magazines, you know.
Yeah, anywhere.
Film, TV, whatever the case may be. But as far as the concept for each person, sometimes what I want to do with that individual has nothing to do with that individual, because I don't know them.
No.
But then there's many of the images that are either, you know, I'll run to a room or an object in a room and, you know, move that to another place based on something that they say during a conversation.
Oh, okay.
So I might sit down and have like a mess of objects here that I'm planning on using, at least either with them or sometime during the day. And then they'll say something like, oh, I love that movie. And I'll run downstairs, get the old VHS tape of that movie that I have, and I'll put it in their photo. And then there's been a lot of magic too in the creation of these images. Sometimes I'll always ask the person if they want to be surprised by the image. Like, do you want to watch me make the photo and then I'll turn the camera and whatnot? Or do you want to be surprised? I can't say a percentage per se, but like maybe 50% of the people want to be surprised, which is always fun.
Yeah.
There have been a few where I'm like, are you sure you don't want to watch? Because it's a really cool like procession of events before the, yeah.
Yeah.
But what's nice is for the people that are choosing to be surprised, when I do either turn the camera around so they can see the setup or I send them the photo later, there's been these really cool moments where they're like, oh, I have that exact same thing.
Really? That's incredible.
Yeah. Or one woman was like, wait, is that what I think it is? I don't want to say what it was because it'll give it away, but I held it up to the camera and she was like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? And I was like, oh, it's just something I've had for a really long time. And it just, I don't know, I just like the way, you know, like, and she was like, I thought I was the only person on earth that had one of those.
So you're finally finding use for all that stuff that you've been hoarding for all those years.
Right. And the other thing, I mean, personally, that's been really nice is just before, in February, I was starting to pack up my house to move.
Oh.
And so half my house is still in boxes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's funny and it's not. But as I was packing things up, I was essentially saying goodbye to them because they were going to a secondhand shop or to friends that I knew would like them. And through this project, I've gotten to document the objects in my life, which all carry meaning. Like I am not a pack rat, but I'm an object lover, right? So like every little thing that I have in my house or I have in a scrapbook, like I save for a very specific reason, and that informs a lot of my other work. But looking back over the photographs, I'm like, oh, it's like a photo album of me and the things in my house, as well as photographs of people and portraits.
Yes, I mean, you've been documenting your memories, I guess, and then you're documenting other people's memories to come. So It's been a nice link.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mentioned that we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. In fact, we're going to be watching you take a photograph, aren't we, of a portrait of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's very kindly going to be joining us from Germany, I think you mentioned.
Yes, correct. He signed up not too long ago. So should we make a phone call?
Yeah, let's call him.
Okay. So I'm going to turn the camera around, the Zoom call.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see, there's my piles. 1, 2, there's all the boxes.
Yeah.
And there's a shopping cart I'm using for later.
Oh, fantastic.
Which I will then return.
I was going to say, we're not allowed to take them here.
No. It was sitting like buddied up against my car the other day, and I was like, I could borrow this for a couple days.
It's also a great color.
Yeah. It's from, well, I won't say where it's from.
No.
Okay. Just in case they're listening. Okay, so can you see the screen?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to make a phone call, and just let me know if the glare is too bad or the resolution, like if something's up, and I'll shift position.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, at the moment it looks great.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see you. Okay. So we're calling Alvaro, is it in? Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. You look so nice. I like that shirt. So, you're welcome. Alvaro, I'm Zachary. It's nice to meet you. And I'm gonna.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Oh. So, Alvaro, I am going to have the phone in my hands like this, and Emma can see, and the viewers can see you as well. Correct, Emma?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we're recording this on Zoom.
Okay. So, Alvaro, we'll just have a conversation, and then we'll do a photograph, okay? All right, great. So tell me, what has life been like for you in 2020?
Actually, my life didn't change too much because I build infrastructure, so I am part of the ground infrastructure of the country. So I was going to the building site every day. So my life is kind of like before without dancing. You cannot go dancing.
Wow. So not much has changed, you said, yeah?
The only is the fear because I'm not German myself, I'm Spaniard, and it's the fear that I cannot go on Christmas home.
Oh, yeah.
Because more Spain is like risky with this pandemics or apocalypse, whatever we are living. You cannot just go to work. Well, it's not so interesting for Christmas.
So you have plans then? Do you already have your ticket and everything?
I cannot make plans. I mean, I'm used to do that for the last 6 years. I was doing that every year, but this year you cannot plan. It's like everything you plan more than 1 month ahead is for nothing because the situation is changing so much. Even legally, you cannot plan going to France. France is from me here a couple of hours by car. You cannot plan going to France for last I come back because maybe you're not allowed to come back into Germany.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So, well, living the day, so not making any plans.
Right. Yeah, I work in healthcare. I work as an ASL interpreter on staff at a health clinic here in downtown Baltimore. And I've been saying for a couple months now that going into work every day feels like my first day of work every single day, because things change now with the rules and the guidelines and the pandemic, not just with treating patients, but also like as just being a citizen in your home, in your hometown or your city. And they change so quickly. So some days it's like, wait, I don't know how to schedule this patient for an appointment because yesterday it was this way and today it's that way. And then as an interpreter, it's also very difficult sometimes because we're supposed to maintain social distance, but like our rooms are not built for that. There was never that, that forethought that, oh, maybe one day we'll have to maintain this distance. And so, that's sort of like a micro kind of change, but I can relate in some ways to what you're saying for sure. Of course, my family lives in the States here, and so making plans for the holidays, they don't live more than 4 hours away. So it's different for me, but I do understand it's quite a struggle. So what will that look like, do you think, for you? You just wait until like a month before it's time to go, and then you figure it out from there? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, then I'm gonna say like in the middle of November, okay, do I fly or I just stay here? And if I stay here, do I ask my family to come over here? Or it is how it is. Well, that's life.
Yeah. Is your job something? Can you work from home? Like if you went to visit your family? No.
No, it's a building site, so I cannot be at home. I have to go there and coordinate the building site.
Wow. Okay.
But somehow, for example, a question that I have to you is, doesn't it going to work every day make you feel like normal? Because for me, it was like you were reading the newspapers, I was reading the Spanish newspapers, the German newspapers, and you were feeling like, okay, world is collapsing. No, but they have to go to the office. So it was like, okay, life is anyhow how it should be because you have to go to the office, you have to make your hours. So somehow calming you down.
I understand what you're saying completely, but and I know people through this project, but also like close friends who feel the exact same way. But because I work in healthcare, there was it's I've never been so emotional and so anxious in my life. Those first like 2 or 3 months were really tough. And having to like suit up and wear gloves and a mask and a face shield, like never had to do that before. But waking up every morning the same time, coming home after work at the same time, that felt really good because it like couched the beginning and the end of my day, with these normal sort of monotonous kind of things where I could like drive to work and just zone out. Like I pay attention to the road when I'm driving, but like, you just drive and you're not really thinking about anything in particular. It was just a really nice way to, I guess, decompress, or at least in the beginning of the day, maybe prepare mentally somehow. So, yeah. And is your family back? I know. Is your family okay? I know you said they're in Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are lucky people somehow. I mean, like, the flat where they live, it's like sunlight and it's big enough so they have their own space. Because now with these pandemic things, it's like you realize people living in small places in this classical, first floor in a 13th floor building that are not getting sunlight. And then, now suddenly you have to be 1 month because in Spain it was like they really had to be at home. It's like, oh shit, now you have a flat with no sunlight.
Yeah.
So we really should think where we are living.
Yeah. There was a gentleman
so thanks God, we are the lucky ones having a proper flat. I mean, not a palace, of course, but a flat with sunlight and space, so it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I spoke to somebody last night in California who mentioned something very similar about his family and saying how he lives on a 70-acre farm, a farm on 70 acres of land, and how he has access to everything he needs now that he had before, with, a few minor inconveniences. But he was talking about his children, adult children, who I believe live in areas like small flats, maybe basement apartments, places like that, where he was talking a lot about the sunlight too, which of course is so important for so many reasons. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Definitely. I mean, for example, I got a terrace myself. If I get locked down at home, I get a terrace. I can go outside somehow. But if you don't have a terrace, then you're really locked down in a small space. Then it's a trap. It's not a home. Then your home is a trap suddenly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Emma, did that? I heard your response. Did that sort of ring true too?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because you think of your home as your castle, really, and it's, you know, you close the door behind you, and it's a nice sort of safe world. And I'm not saying that it isn't now, but you start to look at it in a slightly different aspect. I think when you can't leave it, it becomes a little bit like a prison, I guess, which is very sad. And I think you're right. There's so many people who are living in small flats who don't have access to gardens, which I think has been really tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, out of the whole situation, I think of myself as one of the lucky ones. I mean, I don't have a partner, but I have a place with a terrace. Suddenly, having a terrace or having fresh air.
I have a house that I own, front yard, backyard, sidewalk, you know, like I can walk to the park. There's a park nearby. So it's not a terrace per se, but yeah, I'm so lucky. Yeah, well, you know, I want to ask you a question. So do you have any pets?
No.
No? So,
I mean, I have some
yeah, so I have 2 cats, and I will tell you that if I didn't have them, my experience of quarantine, you know, this pandemic would be very different, because I at least have something to come home to, or someone.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that have pets, that's always come up in conversation. So I just was, you know, these conversations, so I was just curious if you had pets. And I had my first hug the other day in like 8 months. I was not expecting it, but a friend came up and just said, "I'm hugging you," and did not stop as they were coming towards me. And I like froze because I didn't know what to do. It was such a strange experience, but I kind of melted in his arms. So there's definitely something to say about hugs.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Alvaro, would you like to take your portrait?
Sure, please.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna carry the phone and the laptop around to where we're gonna do this.
Okay.
And let's see. So, like I mentioned earlier. Oh yeah. So this is how I always walk around and talk to people. Okay, so yeah, exactly. All right, Alvaro, I'm gonna put you here for a second. You're balancing on my what's that called? The faucet in my sink. So I was telling Emma earlier, and I think maybe we had talked briefly about it, maybe not. You know, this project started because I was stuck at home, and I love connecting with people and making new friends, but I also really like just engagement with people, community engagement, 1 or 2 friends hanging out, things like that. And so being told like, no, you can't do that, it's not safe, was a real, you know, wrench in the machine, right? So in thinking about how to approach this project, once the idea came to me, it was like, oh, photograph people on your phone in your house. A lot of the photographs have a domesticated sort of look or feel, like the one we're gonna do with you, but also some of the photographs look like they were shot in a studio because I've constructed this like world or tableau or diorama, however you wanna call it. And so it's been a really cool like mixture of, I'll get that in a sec. It's been a really cool mixture of photography styles, right? And then there's been a couple rules that I set for myself, and I've only broken it once. So one rule was no photographs outside. So I have a porch, like I said, and a front yard and a backyard, but I don't photograph outside. The second rule was no using like PPE. So I have access to all of it at work, and I don't want to use any of it because it's already hard enough to have people see a photograph of them at this time. Like, it's been really emotional for a lot of people once they receive their photograph. And just as well, some people I've asked to be in the photo and they've said, thank you, but I respectfully decline because I don't want a portrait of me. I don't want to see this in 10 years and remember this time, which is that's a pretty deep kind of emotion or response rather to being asked to be photographed, but I respect that, of course. And then the other rule was, so I didn't want to use PPE because that's like a clear reminder of what this time is. And for people, and I also felt like I can do better than that. Like, I can use other things. I have plenty of stuff to use. And then the last rule was to try to only use my hands as my body parts in the photographs. So there's a number of photos where I'm holding the camera or an object near the camera, the phone. But not too long ago, I connected with an artist in New York, and we had a really nice conversation, a couple conversations before he signed up, actually. And he's a fabric artist and works a lot with fabric in his photography portraits. And I was like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do for his. And I broke the rule because I don't know if you saw it, but I just happened to have a pink gorilla costume. Yeah. And it was one of the hottest days in August. And I have a tiny air conditioner in my bedroom where we took the photo. And I'm running back and forth in this hot, heavy costume. And I'm putting on the mask. And I'm running back and forth. I have 10 seconds before the camera goes off. And what was wild was a lot of people direct messaged me and said, is that you in that costume? And I couldn't figure out why people were asking me that. Like, no, of course it's me. And they would respond and say, oh, well, you're not in any of the other photos. I just thought you asked somebody to stage that. And I was like, no, it's me. I'm dying inside, but it's me. All right, so today's photograph is going to be in the kitchen sink. Now, I came downstairs this morning, I saw my dishes, and they are beautifully arranged. I didn't do anything. I don't know how that happened, but the colors and the balance and the light, everything's working. Now, Alvaro, I give everyone this option. So do you want to see what I'm doing, and do you want to see the setup, or would you rather be surprised after?
Come on, I'll let you decide. Whatever you do, it's fine. I will see the result.
No, I'm the one taking the photo of you, so it's your decision.
Exactly, so I trust you. You have to trust the artist.
Okay, so surprise. We'll go with that. Okay, so I am going to show the viewers what I'm doing, and actually if I lay the phone down, you can see too, and it won't give away the setup. Okay, so here's my kitchen cabinets. And I cleared a space for the laptop. And let's see, Emma, you tell me, can you see? Oh, you can see, good.
Yeah, so if you could bring it a little bit further to the edge so we can just see yeah, perfect.
Okay, and Alvaro, you are welcome to take screenshots from your phone. Oh yeah, I would love that. Did you hear?
No, I can't hear.
He said that he had the idea to take photographs of like behind the scenes while we're doing this, so
Oh,
that I
wow.
have,
Yeah, fantastic.
yeah, background photos. And I said, oh, that's exactly what I was just going to tell you. Okay, so let's see. I am setting things up now. Emma, how does that look?
So
Oh.
I can't really see the bowl, your washing up bowl. So you'll think you'll have to move it a bit towards you. Yeah, perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. And Alvaro, where are you? There you are. There's Emma. And then if you want to get a photo.
I don't think that's my best look.
Mine neither. There are so many photographs of like my under.
Yeah, my chin.
Like, my under neck or whatever we call it. Yeah. Not flattering. Okay. So for the viewers, here's my dishes. And I have this, what is this?
A cardboard.
Thank you. I'm trying to think where it came from. Yeah, a cardboard tube. And I've put it in here not to wash, but it will hold the phone. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'd like to see, before I put the phone on, like on the actual dishes, I'd like to see what it looks like if he's floating a bit, because that will give some nice depth of field. And I am shooting with a 50 millimeter lens, which already gives a lot of nice depth of field, but this will just increase it. Now, okay. Yeah, I have to use something to hold the tube in place. So I used a can opener. Okay, so how's that? Emma, can you see everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So just for the viewers and the listeners, so you came downstairs, you saw this scene this morning, and then that's when you thought this would be a perfect backdrop for the image you were going to do today.
Exactly. And I you know, for a long time, my mom will tell you that I don't like doing dishes. I don't really know anybody. I don't know anybody that likes doing dishes, but no. I imagine some people do. And it's true. It's so true. And for me, at least before COVID-19, you know, the kitchen was like the meeting place in my house. We would never like, I mean, sometimes we would just hang out in the kitchen all night, but anyway. Okay, so I try to only use natural light, and cats down. I have 2 cats that are really excited about this. And for the viewers,
there's the cat.
Here he is. Come on, Bubba. There we go. I have this piece of white foam board, and just in case I need it to bounce some light, like you see the difference, Emma?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably, I can position this like under the cabinet.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, much better.
And then you said you're using a fixed 50 mil, is that right?
Correct. So I'm using a Sony A7. It's a mirrorless camera. It's so light. I can't imagine. Yeah, it's so light. I love it. And let's see, I'm gonna probably set this at 500 ISO with a pretty slow shutter speed, maybe 100, and then an f-stop of, whoop, an f-stop of about, we'll try 5.6. And then, Emma, can you see that?
Move it slightly towards you, please. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, so this is what we're getting when he is, excuse me, when I am here, but it's not showing enough of the whole sync. So I'm actually going to go above the laptop and take the photographs. And then I'll show you, actually I'll show you right now what it looks like. So it looks like that. You see all that, all those nice lines?
Yeah, can't really.
Oops. Is that, can you see that maybe?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, I can see the lines of the sync. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Alvaro. So as I mentioned, you're welcome to take photographs, like screen caps if you want while we're doing this or not. It's totally your call. And I won't really ask you to pose or look in any different way. This is just your portrait of you in this moment. So you just be yourself.
Oh, that was great though. You leaning like that with the parting. That looked really good.
Maybe we'll have you lean in for a photo. Okay, so I'm gonna set up above the laptop and then I'll let you know when we start taking photos, okay? Okay, I'll just. Okay, you ready? Okay. Now I know I said I wouldn't ask you to do anything, but could you bring either come closer? Oh, cat emergency.
I knew your cat would get in here somewhere.
Hey, come on, bub. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's perfect. A little lower, maybe less. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like that. Okay. This looks great. I just have to. See, I had it all perfect, and then my cat moved it.
Never work with animals.
Yeah. I like that. Perfect. Okay, you ready? Actually, I have to move the. See, if I hold the camera at a very specific angle, it doesn't show the tube, so it looks like you're literally floating in midair. So I just had to move the tube a little bit. There we go. Okay, ready? Nope, almost. Okay. That should be enough. Yeah. Oh, hey, Emma, I have to move the laptop back a little bit. I couldn't figure out what this.
Okay, that's fine.
There was this strange, like, glare, but it was the top edge of the laptop.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, there we go. Just gonna check for, I'm gonna take a behind the scenes photo. There we go. I'm just gonna check, there's my feet, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so let's zoom in and see if Alvaro is in focus. No? Yes. Look how lovely that is. Do you see that, Emma?
Yeah, it's kind of slightly, the light isn't that great. I can just about make it out. But we can always put these up anyway when we...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So let me just zoom in one more time to make sure that the tube isn't showing. Okay, it's showing a little bit, but I kind of like that. Just a little hint of that.
Yeah, you don't even notice it.
Yeah, just looks like another dirty dish. And, oh, so I want to make sure I got enough in focus. Yeah. Yeah, these are great. These are great. Okay, Alvaro, just a few more. I'm going to come closer to you and just do a close-up or two. There we go. Okay, and I think essentially we're done. I feel like I'd be remiss to not take a portrait of you actually sitting on the dishes. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, so we're gonna do the same photo again. I'm just gonna take a couple of you like where you are right now, okay? All right. And then, yeah. Okay, I'm coming down. A lot of people have really enjoyed seeing like behind the scenes photos. So I'm gonna, yeah. So I'm gonna take a couple of those with you still sitting on the dishes, but like I'm gonna try to get the three of, you know, like I'll take, well, you'll see actually. Emma, I'm gonna take your picture.
Okay. Get the right side.
Yeah. Emma, this might be your ERRANDS portrait actually. You would be the first person actually that I photographed with just a laptop. But we'll see what Emma thinks of her picture.
I'm very critical, I'll have you know.
I think most photographers are. They either don't want to be. Can you see me, Emma, down here?
I can't, no.
Oh, you know what? Let me move the laptop so you can see how insane I look. All right, you tell me when you can see my feet.
Yeah, just about.
Really? Okay, let me see if I can get you.
That's it, I can see you now. Can't really see Alvaro though.
I don't think the camera wants to stay up, but we'll try. Oh gosh, okay, well that's not gonna work. Can you still see my feet?
Yep.
Oh yeah, much better. Well, I probably ruined it. I just ruined it. Okay, well, we got it.
Yeah, let's not break anything.
Yeah. And then I just want to get, oh, okay, Emma, well, now you can kind of see, I was going like this.
Oh, oh, you're on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is this performance art?
I've been telling people that if there was a camera or if there was a way to photograph me taking all these pictures, or if there was like a hidden video, I would be committed immediately. Because I'm running around doing all this nutty stuff. I mean, I'm having a blast while I'm doing it.
Keeping you fit.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Oh, just seen the cat.
The other one's being shy. Okay. Thanks for entertaining that, Alvaro. Just a couple close-ups of the dishes around you, and then we'll be done. Okay. My one friend, Matt, he says that he gets so excited when I posted a photograph that has those three little dots next to it, because that means that I've posted a behind the scenes image. And he says that, yeah, he says he like loves those so much, which is so sweet.
Well, you'll have a video to watch as well now.
I'll have to send them in the link. Okay, Alvaro. Now, do you want to wait for your photo to be like till I send it to you, or do you want to see what it looked like from Emma's point of view?
I trust.
He trusts me. You heard it here first. First and last. Okay, so let me get everybody out of here. Will I wash these dishes today? We don't know.
I tell you what, they're the cleanest dishes I've seen. They are pretty good.
I really didn't do anything. I just came downstairs this morning and they were ready.
Don't look at the dishes in my sink then, that's all I can say.
You're not gonna take Alvaro's picture too in your sink?
In my sink.
Okay. Oh, let me turn it back around. Okay, Alvaro, wasn't that fun?
Yeah, it was really funny. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Really fun.
Good, good. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this. Oh, we have a little poor connection.
Oh.
Let's see. There he is. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Well, I was just saying it was so nice to meet you. Thank you for signing up and being a part of this. And I look forward to sharing your photo with you soon. What happens next? Yes. What happens next? I'll upload the photos from my camera to my phone, and I'll pick probably maybe 5 to 10 that look real good, and I'll share them with you for you and I to decide on. Oh, I'm losing you again. Are you there? Oh, you can still hear me. Okay, good. So I'll share a couple with you. We'll pick which one we both like the most, which usually matches up together. And then any of the photos that you see that maybe like are second or third in line, but you still really like, I'm happy to edit those and send those to you as well. And then once I edit the photographs and send you the finals, you can do what you wish with them. You can print them, you can share them, you can tag them, post whatever you need to do. And then I will share you as part of the project on Instagram. So there you go.
And then we'll connect as well with you on Instagram, and the podcast and the Zoom video should go up on YouTube sometime next week. So I'll send you an email to let you know when everything is ready to be posted. But thank you so much for being part of the project. It was really, really good fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Alvaro. I'll talk to you soon, okay? You as well. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
So Zachary, now, yeah. So now what happens? You, as you said, you choose a few images. You go through them with him, and then you select them, and then you post them up, and that's it. That's that's the next portrait done. And are you going to be doing any more of these? Because I know you talked about possibly coming to the end of the project, but how do you feel about that?
So 251 is a lot of portraits.
Yeah.
I only expected 100, maybe 120. And I knew that when it was time to finish, logically, that I would just know. As much as I don't like good things coming to an end, it's really not the end of it. It's just other things maybe are taking precedence, right?
Yeah.
Other things in life, family and whatnot. So I have about less than 10 people signed up still. And these are people that have signed up maybe a month or two ago that just picked a date farther out.
Yeah.
I thought in June, when signups had slowed, that was it, but they picked up. And then in July, I thought that was it, and they picked up. And then in August, I thought that was it. But this time, I really think this is it. And I never would want to deny somebody a portrait. So part of me thinks, well, maybe I just leave it up.
Yeah.
And infinitely. And then if people are inspired by the work and they call me and say, I'd like to be photographed, are you still doing it? Then that gives me the option of saying, no, I'm not still doing it, or yes, I am still doing it. That being said, as the artist and creator of the project, I think there's also something to be said about just knowing when it's time and ending a project.
Yeah, things have got an infinite time period, really, haven't they? So if anybody wants to get in touch with you about this project, but indeed about any of the other projects you do, what's the best way to contact you?
Well, I am now always on Instagram, so you can message me there. That's weird to hear me say that, but I'm now a social media user. And also my website is www.zz or ZZ handler, handler.com. Yeah, I love talking to people, obviously. So if anyone is interested and likes what we're doing here, definitely be in touch. Either, to be photographed or just talk about art or anything.
Yeah.
And
come up with a new project, perhaps.
Yeah, or collaborating. I love that too. Yeah. One lady that I photographed for this project talked to me about, she's she's an art director in LA, and she was talking to me about, like, would you be interested in maybe, if I could pitch it to my, team, doing like a fashion shoot of our models in the ERRANDS style, and my jaw dropped to the floor. I was like, yes, 120,000% yes. So reminds me I have to follow up with her. But
well, good luck with that. Thank you so much for agreeing to take part of this. It was absolutely really fascinating. I really enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing the final edits.
Yeah. I will. I'll send you those. All the photos for you to look at as well, and then we'll get some up on the London Photo Festival website and the Instagram and all.
On Instagram as well, and also on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and just for the viewers who might not, where's my camera? Just for the viewers who are watching and are curious what it looked like. Here's Emma.
Here's a little spoiler. That's brilliant.
And it's pretty wild. I love it.
Like I'm diving out of the cupboard.
I know. It's wild. I love it. And here is one that'll probably be exactly what the final looks like.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, yeah, that's great, because he's got his head slightly to the side as well. That's brilliant. Oh, it's fantastic. I can't wait to see them up
Me too.
properly.
The colors are beautiful. Just beautiful. So Thanks, Emma. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
having
much,
me.
Zachary. It was lovely talking to you. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye.